All right, y'all. Welcome to episode 9, Behind the Gate. We're going to switch it up a little bit today. Typically, we don't talk too much about real estate. Most of y'all know that's what I do for a career. So I thought I'd bring in my squad, my business partner, our right-hand people that help us do what we do, and just let y'all get to know us a little bit. There will be some real estate talk. There will be a lot of other random questions brought to you by our good friends at Andre. They're not actually a sponsor, but if they watch this, we would love for this to take place. So, Andre, if you're seeing this. Anyway, let's get to some introductions and then we'll get into it. So, we have somebody missing. She may show up. She's always late. Anyway, Ashleigh Holbrook.
What's up?
What's up? Happy you're here.
Happy I'm here. Thank you.
And my business partner, Amy Oakley.
Hello.
Wow.
Hello.
Sound excited, Amy.
They're stoked to be here, guys. Let me tell you, they just can't wait to do this. So let's get into it. I asked my social media yesterday for some ideas for random topics to discuss. Actually, the first question's for you. You're gonna love this one. Let's go to reality TV, straight to Bravo. What is going on Bravo right now? Vanderpump, Below Deck. What is the hottest, latest Bravo drama?
I mean, that's a hard question. I think this is going to be
all you talk about with Megan.
I know. I think this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I think Vanderpump currently is a womp womp, if you ask me.
Oh.
I don't know. It's just kind of plateaued for me. I've actually kind of shifted a little bit to the Summer House.
The Summer House.
Summer House.
Okay. That haunts me a little bit. I have to fall asleep to that and I hate it.
Well, the only reason why I say that is because I feel like I'm like a huge reality TV guru. When I say that, I'm not like, I can't tell you all the names and all that stuff, but I just like it. And I feel like for me personally, that is the one reality TV that actually seems a little bit more authentic. Doesn't seem scripted as much or anything like that. I just feel like Vanderpump has become so scripted. I feel like they really kind of took Scandival and had to continue on with that. And it's kind of, I don't know.
All right.
Chipping away at the insides for me.
Well, I'm sure there are people that are looking at you right now like, boo. But I can appreciate that. Yeah. I hate that show. Yeah. I've always hated that show. It's a terrible show.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I still watch it. I still watch it every Tuesday night or Wednesday.
Yeah, and I don't care who looks at me and says, well, it's awful.
Well, I just feel like Ariana's taken it a little too far. Okay. I think everybody's made bad decisions, and you have to, absorb it and move on. And I think she's really taken it to the extreme.
We all have a past, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
But big Bravo star here. Love it.
Okay. Yeah. Amy, how do you feel about Bravo?
I'm not a big Bravo fan. I don't really watch a lot of reality TV.
Do you watch any of the real estate shows?
Any of the what?
Real estate reality TV shows?
I hate Selling Sunset.
Because they're fake.
Yeah. Selling Sunset?
I can't watch it.
I can't either.
It's tough. Yeah, for those of you guys that are watching,
that's not how it is.
Most real estate reality TV is absolutely not what we do on a day-to-day basis.
Not at all.
It's just not. So take that for what it's worth. You don't like any reality TV?
I mean, not really.
I feel like she's a Survivor fan.
I did watch a little bit of Survivor, but I didn't really ever get into it. I don't know.
So what are you watching on Netflix right now?
Netflix. Actually, I'm rewatching The Resident.
I don't even know what that is.
The Resident. It's a good
That's
show.
pretty good.
But it didn't come from Netflix, I don't think. Yeah. Goodness. I can't think of anything like recently I've watched, but I feel like I've watched I'm caught up on pretty much everything that's out.
Wow. That's a lot.
I watch at night.
Is Dusty knocking on the door? What? Okay, well, Dusty's here now. Lovely. Right on time. Yeah. Well, of course. We locked the door because you weren't here, dummy.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, so everybody meet Dusty. Come on, have a seat right here. You're all set up, ready to go.
Hi.
We didn't know if you'd actually make it or not. Yeah, here. Come on this way.
I feel like I'm already eating the mic.
Or do you really have a watermelon White Claw with a straw right now?
Absolutely.
Wow.
I knew I was going to see you guys.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Dusty Vaughn.
Where's the camera?
All About You Realty. It doesn't matter where the camera is. You got sunglasses on.
I cannot.
Yeah. We were just talking about reality TV shows.
Do you watch
Bravo.
reality?
Do you watch anything on Bravo? No.
I don't think so.
A lot of people overlook the Kardashians, but if you watch
I'm pretty sure there's a
have
couple
an
of sex
open
tapes
mind.
that would
I know
disagree with
why.
you.
I know why. I'm just saying, like, it doesn't matter. I don't look at it as from a personal standpoint. I look at it as a business standpoint. Watch Chris and Kim. Look where, they are with their own lives. Like, she has a documentary, and the way she talks about how she does business and the way that she thinks about people's time and stuff like that. It's inspiring.
Yeah. Dusty, all right, we need you to slide this way. Sorry guys, you're getting the real raw uncut here. Yeah, go jump on in here. I ain't gonna bite.
I thought I was gonna be like on the outskirts, like people.
No,
couldn't
you're right
see.
here. You're just gonna have to deal with it. Slide the mic over.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
I mean,
Okay, but talking to
So,
reality TV, you know what I feel like people have slept for a long time on
Tell
that I
us.
really encourage them to get back. The Challenge.
Well,
the challenge.
The Challenge. MTV was like, that's what I grew up on. Like, I've been watching reality TV since I was a kid, right? And MTV used to be my jam. Real World, Road Rules. And The Challenge is now almost in their 40th season.
Wow.
And I love it.
That's crazy.
I love it. CT is starting to have a comeback. So I challenge you, if you ever watch The Challenge, watch it.
Okay.
Get back into it.
Reality TV. I hate it.
Yeah, I'm
But
not
Really?
I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
me either.
Let's come back in on her Netflix here, because this
Yeah.
ties into my next question. There's a good Netflix documentary recently came out. I can't remember the name of it, so I'm not going to butcher it. But it was 4 episodes, and it was a crazy conspiracy theory story.
The octopus murders.
There, the octopus.
How did
murder.
you already
See,
know what
she
he was
already knows
talking
it,
about?
right?
'Cause I'm-
So
Well, I started
let's
it.
run around the room here and let's hone in on that conspiracy question. Favorite conspiracy theory, and is it true? Well, like, what's the deal? Like for me, I'll start. I think they come out and said this now, but like I always had a feeling aliens were real, and we've known this for years, right?
Oh,
So
hold on, can I interrupt you for a second?
depends on what you're gonna say.
I think spiders are aliens. Okay, go. Think about it. Just go.
Drugs are bad, Dusty.
I already brought this to Logan's attention.
Birds
like
are
I was
robots.
cooking dinner, and I was literally like, "Hold on," but nobody knows where spiders just came from. Like, and they're outside. They freaking like fly. They drop out of the sky some places. It makes so much sense. Aliens are totally already here.
Dusty,
Continue. You
the
went there.
spiders crawl up the wall. Anyway.
Exactly.
Okay,
Aliens look wild, man.
So Dusty thinks spiders are aliens. I love that. Ashleigh, what about you?
Well, I was going to say aliens for me,
Oh.
but I did jump down a rabbit hole for a short period where people thought that birds were put on Earth to spy on us. I don't believe that, but it was kind of an interesting outlook that I explored for
That's a
5
huge
minutes.
one.
Yeah.
That birds are like robots. They killed off all the birds, and
Yeah.
now like the government.
I don't think
uses
And
all
them
they,
of them.
how they go,
Probably
how they
some for
always like they
sure.
always. I don't know about you guys, but they always hit my window, and
Birds.
yeah, like they. Well, I have this little wreath that
feel like that's
may
not
or
a
may
good
not
omen.
look like a bird's nest, and so they may or may not always hit my front door. That's like a full window.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
But I've,
rude.
yeah, I just hit
On
this
your
like
part.
little rabbit hole for like 5 minutes that birds were here to spy on us.
Birds always have a nest in the wreath on my door or in my garage. They always put a nest
They might
there.
be spying on you. I don't
Because
know.
they can't fly away after they hang out there for a little bit.
I would say
Amy.
weather. Like,
Weather.
yeah, does the government like control the weather? Because that's a big like conspiracy.
Is that an actual
Yeah.
conspiracy theory?
Hell yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it is.
So
Like, they
all
can-
the world governments conspire together, or
Where's
just
my
the
rubber?
United
I think
States
it's,
government?
I think it's just the United States, and it's just how they like somehow implement it through different
That's some true Illuminati shit. Just controlling the
technology
weather.
stuff.
No,
no,
it's
and
Are
it's
you
not
saying
like
we live in a
It's
dome on a
opposite
flat
of
Earth right now too?
Illuminati.
I'm not
It's
saying that
opposite
I
of Illuminati. I do feel
100%
like
agree.
100% they have control.
Yeah, I don't 100% agree with it totally, but I do think there's things that they can do to cause it to like rain, or they can have something happen, and I don't know how they do it. I just
Yeah.
think there's
Well, what they do is they take like a heating mechanism and just put it over the ocean to cause
they
evaporation.
do something with the ocean.
The
there is something they can
scientific
do it.
reason that rain happens.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
They
I'm just
can do
fucking-
it.
I'm just
No, they can do. They do use the ocean for something.
Gullible when it comes
see,
to
you
I know, Ashley's
She
like,
really
what?
is, dude.
I was about to get my phone and Google it.
They hook up a hairdryer to an electrical cord and just go blow
Is it a
over
heated
the-
blanket? I don't know.
It's like chemicals, I think. Like they use chemicals in a lot of things. I think that chemicals.
I don't know.
Wow.
Dude, coronavirus.
Well, I mean,
hello.
it would be easy for me to sit here and be like, that's all blasphemous. But I think that there's just, the older we get, we hear about stuff from 30 years ago that they thought was blasphemous. And it's like, holy shit, that was like actually true. That really actually happened. So, yeah, we'll digress there because that's a rabbit hole we can go down. You know, there's so many of them there.
If you want to talk offline about it, she's heard them all.
Heck yeah, because both of us are sweating. I gotta
That's
take
why
my
I
coat
brought it
off.
up. So
I
Tom,
find it interesting.
for-
I just like I like listening to the different stories, even though some of them sound like really, really crazy.
Yeah.
Back to the alien thing. Like, I don't think that there's actual aliens. I think the government has like created like people, like they've done like experiments with like embryos and stuff and combined. And I do think that there is like some kind of beings out there. But I think it's all like implemented by like,
Maybe they get it
I
every
feel like they're
time you
listening
give
to
a
us right now.
doctor a
They might be.
swab out
Do
of
not
your
flag
mouth
this
or, like, a
podcast.
blood
I don't know. I think
sample.
science
They
is cool.
steal
I
that
think
shit.
I think a lot of it is scary, but I think there's a lot to it that we just don't know.
Exactly.
I love how when we started this, Amy was like, hi. And it's like, hey, what do y'all think about conspiracy theories? Oh my God.
Let me get my notebook out.
Where can we start? It sounds like we need to do a follow-up episode just on conspiracy theories. All right, we're gonna digress there. All right.
The Unsolved Mysteries theme
I don't know
song.
if y'all thank you for who posed that question on social media because that's a lot of fun. If y'all don't know Thomas in the background here, Thomas Marvin does the filming for this. And that was his lovely wife that asked me that question to put on this. So thank you for that.
What did
That
she
is awesome.
say? What did she ask?
She just said, bring up conspiracies. And I was like, oh, God, you went there. And she's like, that's why I would be perfect with your group.
Let me ask
She
your wife
really
brought
would.
up Bravo.
My wife definitely did Bravo. Yeah, thanks,
That's my girl.
Yeah, and she got the first question. You got the first question, babe. Bravo.
Love her for that.
I'm seriously like, 3 nights a week, I walk in the bedroom and I'm like, God, because it's like on the television.
You're that guy that's actually tuned
It's
completely in.
fascinating to watch.
I do like
the-
Below Deck. Somehow we've gotten back to Bravo.
I have
Deck,
watched. I
yes.
have watched Below Deck.
Somehow we've gotten
I
back
have
to
to.
Bravo.
I've watched
Yeah.
that. I think it's fascinating to watch the Real Housewives. Like
That's fake.
I know, but it's just, I don't know. They're just,
Okay, I'm
The
just going to go
shit
back
they
below
fight
deck.
about
Captain
is
Jason.
retarded.
That is all.
Final answer? Captain
Final
Jason?
answer.
Do you
So
have,
what?
have you figured out how to get in contact with him? Y'all, should we be on that show? So we just like ball out and rent up one of the boats and be on Below Deck?
dude,
I mean,
yes.
if
Can we bring our
if the firm's
family,
going to pay for it,
though?
I'm good for it.
How much does that cost? Do we know?
A lot. Their tips are $20,000.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Really?
Okay.
I
So
will do that.
well,
Their
but-
tips are $20,000?
Yeah,
Yeah, they do
no, we're
get-
talking about
paying
being the
to-
guest, not getting
Yeah,
the
it's a
tip.
lot.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's
we'll
what's
just-
up, though. I think that
we'll move on.
combining families, we could make something happen.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah, we'll move on. Okay, so real estate question. Somebody mentioned what made us want to get into real estate. So who wants to start?
So for me, I would say I was actually in nursing school. I don't know. A lot of people may not know that. And I actually only had 2 semesters left, and I just had and my grades were great. I just decided that it wasn't what I wanted to do anymore. I had bought my first house, which was a townhome, and I had met a couple different real estate agents and had been talking to them, and I was like, I really think I would enjoy that. How old were you? Oh, I was 20.
And how old are
That's
you now?
what's up.
And how old are you now?
You don't ask that
None-
question.
Mind your
None yet?
business.
None of your business.
29?
At 20 years old, though, with that mindset, like, that's what's up.
Yeah. Yeah. But now I regret not finishing nursing school. Not that I don't love real estate.
Yeah.
I just wish I would have finished it because I was right there.
Yeah.
You know, and I always have like regrets about it. But
Can you not go back and like just
then I
do
have
it
to
just
redo
for your
everything
own-
over because it's been so
Oh,
long.
really?
So yeah.
Yeah.
Not worth
It's
it.
only been 5 years, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Well, thank
But
you.
I just
for sharing.
really liked what I saw and
Yeah.
just thought, hey, this is something that I might be interested in doing. So
It's always something different every day. I
It
think
is.
that's really what it is. It's always something different every day.
yeah.
Yeah. Ashleigh?
Okay, so mine was a completely different story. I never aspired to be a real estate agent, as bad as that sounds. So I was working in a retail pharmacy chain for almost a decade.
Shout out CVS.
It was
It's
not
Walgreens.
CVS.
It was
They're actually the
Walgreens.
competitor. It was Walgreens. Anyways, so I need a change for life, work-life balance, all that fun stuff. And so me and my stepdad actually ventured out into wanting to invest in real estate. And if you know, you go down a whole rabbit hole of, all of these things, wholesaling, all that stuff. Yeah. Long story short, we just felt it would be beneficial if I got my real estate license. And I was during COVID season. So, that was a whole adventure in itself. But long story short, I truly fell a lot more in love with being a real estate agent and helping serve people in real estate versus flipping. I think it, again, HGTV really kind of honed it in that it's really not that easy. So, I enjoyed it, but ultimately decided to put 100% of my efforts towards being a real estate agent. Yeah. So,
Love that. Glad you made that decision.
yeah.
I think it was like a satisfaction with the connection with people for you.
Yeah.
What about
Yeah.
you? What made you want to get in real estate? I can't wait to hear this story.
It's such a long one, man. It's a good one, but it's a long one. So
40,
it's like,
give us the short version. Land the plane.
1
quickly.
minute.
so
Man,
Briley was almost 3. We
Briley
we're-
is your oldest daughter, correct?
yeah. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. I feel like we're just like talking.
We are.
You know,
It's
like
not-
people
it's
are.
not.
So Bradley was almost 3, and we were living in like a single wide trailer on some land in Reedsville. I used to call it like a trailer hood, and the trailer hood had been purchased by a new like owner, obviously, and he came in, and the first time we met, it was like it was me like yelling at him because he had come and unannounced gave us something saying he was going to increase the rent. Long story short, after a conversation, he let me keep my rent at the same. He gave me a job, and it was my 3rd job in that season. And it turned into a friendship, turned into like flipping these trailers and helping him build, And then I guess just after doing all that, I really liked working with my hands. So I quit the serving position, and I kept doing that. And then I still worked at like the doctor's office, and on the weekends bartended and did his flips. And then he just approached me one day asking me, did I want to go to real estate school? I asked him how they got paid. And then I said, hell no. But a little while later, asked him again, paid for it. So I did it 3 classes back to back to back because I failed the first 2. And then and you have to like wait like a month, I think, in between taking the next one. And then I had, how many was it? Like 5 state tests. I don't remember if I passed on the first state and national, or I know I didn't pass state first, but I don't know if it was national that I passed first or second. I don't remember.
I don't either.
You were my cheerleader, man.
I was
Y'all
there.
ask me how many times I've been interviewing for a real estate client or listing, and they've been like, by the way, did you pass your state board exam on the first time through? I'd have to just stand up and walk out of the room and be like,
exactly.
I'm not your guy. I had to take the class twice. My bad. I'm here.
I tell
Well,
I'm
that's because
straight
some
up.
of it contradicts like national law versus
It's
state
such
law.
a stupid test.
I mean, I get it. They have to do it.
Probably changed
Yeah.
from when they took it.
But there's so many like contradicting, like, yeah, this is for the national level, but if you're North Carolina, this is actually the case.
I mean, it's fine to have laws. I get laws, but like, I feel like real estate laws are so subjective to opinions and like just logic. And you can't put a question on a test and give a direct answer when there's anyway. I digress on that. It's a stupid test. Change it. It's terrible.
So fun fact, I actually was pregnant and had to wear a mask.
I did too.
Wow, I had to take my
Same,
test.
both.
So you talk about the hot
February.
sweats. Yes, you were. Yes. So you already are feeling like overheated being pregnant, and then I'm wearing this mask. And
You got to drive like, gosh, an hour to do it. And I didn't at this time until I got into real estate. I did not like driving in town.
An hour? I just rode up to the H&R Block on Spring
I
Garden.
know,
because during COVID, there were so many. Like you have to
COVID.
remember, like they were taking so many less people in testing sites,
Yeah.
and so the site in Greensboro actually didn't open up until the tail end of COVID. So
I'm actually super glad that my journey was the way that it was, and it took what it took to do it, because I don't think that I would have known like what I was doing when I got out of my first class.
Would you say that you still currently know what you're doing?
Hell yeah. If they ask
I'm
me
just-
a question, if
I'm
I
just
don't know
messing
it, I'll
with you.
tell them, but I'll find out the answer. You know what I
I
mean?
know you will.
But it's like,
Hawkeye over here.
I don't know. It's so real. I feel like real estate school needs to, it's all about the laws and what to not do. And then whenever you get in there, you're so scared of what not to do that you don't even relate with your people anymore, because you're so worried about what you could and couldn't get in trouble for.
yeah,
In my opinion, because there's so much stuff and it's ridiculous.
Well, it's just
So-
like anything. We have to cater to the people that do shitty things, right? All those laws are like, I would never do that, but somebody did it, which is why we now have to have a law and study it, because they don't want us to repeat that, and it's a shame. Anyway, so my story is similar to y'all's, and it's funny how none of us are just like, I always dreamt about being a real estate agent. I'm going to
gosh,
shout out
no.
the Smart family here. Y'all know the Smarts. So Rochelle and Deborah, Mama Smart,
Oh, Deborah.
Rochelle, my good friend Sam. My real estate story is very short. I was on a boat with them in Wilmington. This is right before we met, too. This is how we ended up meeting.
was this below deck style?
No, I mean, it was a nice boat. Rochelle had a nice boat. We were in Wilmington. I just met Rochelle. She did not know me. At that point in life, I still don't have a filter, but I had no filter then. And within like 30 minutes being on this boat, I'd had a few adult beverages, and she was like, "You're coming to work for me." And I was like, "Okay." And it was with D.R. Horton. And like I almost moved to Wilmington to work to her. It didn't work out. I ended up in Greensboro, got my real estate license, barely got my real estate license. I almost got fired from D.R. Horton because I failed my class the first time. But then that's where I met Amy, and she was my sales trainer there. So a drunken moment on a boat with somebody telling me, you should do this. And I was like, all right, I'll do it. Whatever, is what led to all this 10 years ago. And it's awesome, but
I was
never,
like, who's this wild
Like
kid
me
in
on the
training?
golf course last
I can see
summer.
that. You're the most impulsive person I know. And I
She's
love
so
it.
funny
I
though.
love
She
it.
would be like, "Do you drink last night?" And I was like, "Yep."
Yep.
She's like, "Cool. You always sell better when you're hungover." Yeah. So real estate, right? Crazy shit happens out here in our world that the average client consumer doesn't hear about. Let's talk about some of the craziest things that's happened to us in the industry. And it doesn't necessarily have had to happen to you, but it can be, through somebody else. Amy, you've been doing this the longest. You've probably got a ton, but just one that sticks out in your mind.
Well, I've got several, but yeah, there's been like just really crazy stuff. So I remember when I had a listing. I think it was in Winston, and I went to meet some people to show it, and there were squatters in the house. And I literally was just like, I opened the door. It scared me to death. And they took off running. But it was just super scary. So from that point on, every time I went back, I had a gun with me. Because I was like, if somebody comes after me, I'm shooting.
Y'all, anybody watching this, if you call my partner Amy and you don't know her to show a house, she is carrying. So don't
she's
be trying
packing,
to.
man.
Yes.
Don't mess up. For real, we've planned like to go show a house, and I'm like, should we take a guy? And she's like, no, I got my gun. I'm like, oh, okay, let's go.
But so I would say the craziest thing probably would be when I was at D.R. Horton, and Matt was my partner, and we had
Shout out Matt Tanner.
Matt Tanner. We had a lady come in that had just got out of a psych ward. Well, she hadn't even got out. She like escaped. Okay. So she escaped. And the weirdest thing is she came in, Matt showed her a couple of houses and she wanted to write a contract. And so we write a contract. We get a check from her. She writes a check and gives it to us for a hold. And then the next day we're following up with her. She doesn't answer. She doesn't, like, we don't hear from her. The following day, we still don't hear from her. And then we get a call from the institution saying that they were looking for her, that she had escaped. And it was the weirdest things. Like, how did they even know that she came to us? And, like, you know, all right, we have a check. You know,
DHI approved them. We wrote it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was the weirdest.
They didn't really approve them.
I don't know. I don't remember that part. I don't know who loan was or whatever. But
We were doing a pre-construction walk.
it was really crazy.
That's insane.
Just really.
Insane. Well, Dusty, we'll go ahead and do you next. Dusty is the crazy real estate story.
Okay, Stoneville. I was showing a house to. It was
Don't
like
say any names.
a family friend. I wasn't. I was a family friend and her partner. And this is back when I had a show with Talon and Rory. I had Rory on my arm in her carrier, Talon on my other hand. And, you know, they're walking behind me. And I don't remember if they had their kids or not. But we walk up on the porch, and I shit you not, like 30 birds flew out from under the porch, and one shit on my face.
They were watching you.
It shit on my
government
face.
was
It was the
watching.
first time I had ever met the partner. But I also, like, I had my kid, like, everything.
Did you get pink eye
that
for
could have
that?
happened? No, but then the summer right after that, I'm not even kidding. My whole
valid question.
family is set up. It was not even like 5 months after this. My whole family set up on the beach. My whole family. We have a big ass tent and everything.
The birds
and we're
came.
all chilling. The freaking seagulls flew over me and Kristen, and one shit on my hand.
You have pissed off the government.
Actually, that's what I hear, but I actually hear that it's like a really good luck sign. So. So who knows?
If you guys take anything from this
I
episode,
always think
Watch
that
the
my
birds.
stories
A
are
bird
crazy,
shitting on you
and then
is
I
good
hear
luck.
yours.
Well,
Like
I think
my
there's a
shit's
lot
crazy.
of, like, when it comes to, like, divorces and stuff, we deal with a lot of stuff with divorces.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Really?
craziness that happens.
Yeah.
Surrounding.
Ashley, what's your crazy story?
I mean, I feel like mine's so boring. I won't go into like the transactional stuff because I feel like that's intimate. But for showing houses, this is probably like more so my embarrassing moment. It was, I mean, I would consider it crazy because I didn't know how to handle the situation because it's not my forte. But we were showing a house and there were no notes that there were dogs that were accessible to us on the property. It was kind of weird because there was like multiple fences in the backyard that you probably could have seen if you were looking for it, but we weren't looking for it. Long story short, viewed the house, went to the back deck, and going to the back deck, we opened a gate going down the stairs off the back deck. And we knew there were dogs back there, but we thought visually they were in like a far fence that was not accessible to us. And there were a total of 5. And they were large dogs. And we opened the gate on the back deck, and I walked down thinking that I was going to get a preview of, I think it was like a, almost like a cellar opening down there, and start to open the door, and I hear the buyer scream, "Ashleigh, watch out, the dogs are coming for you," very aggressively barking after me, and me just, wearing some semi-formal attire, start running and jump the gate from the dogs. Somehow Okay, no, I know how. The access to the house was the garage. So we had the garage door open, and opening the deck, the dogs were allowed to get through the deck and then through the garage. So then all 5 of the dogs are loose in the neighborhood.
Oh my gosh.
wow.
I remember this. You called
And
me.
I was like, this is not up my alley. I'm not afraid of dogs, but if they're not my dogs, I'm not ready for them. You know what I mean?
You seem scared right now.
Well, I am like just reliving it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, come here,
Are you
puppy.
about to cry?
I know. That's
No,
what
does it look like
About to
it?
cry?
No, maybe I'm just very into the story. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's because it was like a situation that happened to you in the moment.
Yes.
Like you're thinking about the moment.
So long story short, like luckily my buyers are like super comfortable with it. Like one of my buyers carried like 2 of the dogs physically back to the house. Of course, like my first thing was calling the listing agent so he could call the seller, because they're dogs and we want them to be safe and back to the house. But like here I am, I'm like, I want to get the dogs back, but at the same time I don't want to get attacked. You know what I mean? But here I am like running around a neighborhood with like, again, semi-professional attire, just running around. Come here, puppy. Come
Girl,
here,
bye.
puppy.
Fuck them dogs.
All the dogs were safe and they were back in the house, but that was for me. I mean, it's not like super crazy, but it was a little traumatic for me. So, what did she say?
I had a
Saying that we're being videotaped.
Like I had
feel like
one
we're in a
rule for this
conversation.
episode is not to drop the F-bomb. Dusty's just over
Actually,
like,
you're the first one that dropped the
well,
F-bomb.
that's fine. We know
I
that.
had
I
one
looked right at you.
more story.
Okay.
I had a listing appointment, and don't know these people. I got called. I went out there, and as soon as I walk in the door, there's like animals everywhere. There's like, snakes, all kinds of stuff.
Free?
The snakes were in their like aquariums or whatever, but. So like I'm sitting there and there's this bearded dragon just like slowly going across the floor, and then a few minutes later here comes bunnies hopping. I mean, they literally had animals and it smelled so
And
bad.
they were free?
Yes, free roaming the house.
Shit.
And I ended up not taking that listing because I was like,
You were afraid of the
Why?
bearded
I would have
dragon?
thought they were cool. I bet they were the coolest
because
people, though.
it was not a good situation.
Oh.
It was just but animals just everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah, it was probably about 4 or 5 bunnies just like hopping around.
Hey, Bugs was just chilling. I think mine's also more just like funny. We've had a lot of hilarious stories we hear about and crazy stuff. I'm gonna go to a specific for sale by owner instance, and this was kind of early on in my career with you when I was still just a buyer's agent, and our inspection company we use a lot had referred their brother to us, and they were moving to Greensboro. We were helping them buy a house. And they found a for sale by owner up near Lake Jeanette that they really liked. And it's a very, very strange situation dealing directly with the seller. And we get to the walkthrough and it's the day of closing. We walk up to the door and it's kind of like cracked a little bit. I'm already like, whoa, what's going on here?
The front door?
Yeah, the front door's already cracked. And it's fairly early in the morning. And I like open up the door and I'm kind of like, hello. And all of a sudden, the seller was asleep on an air mattress in the living room. Like picture that you're looking through the front door, living room here, kitchen here. He jumps up, startled, out of the air mattress. Total Pooh Bear.
He's naked.
All he's got is a t-shirt on, just bare ass Pooh Bear. And he jumps up. Like, think about that situation. All he had to do was just be like, hey, I need a minute. You know what I mean? Because he's like under a cover on an air
Yeah,
mattress.
but he was probably
just
fight or flight mode. He
This
probably
is-
thought you were an intruder.
He just
seller?
jumps up. He knew this showing. He had to approve the
Yeah.
show, like the walkthrough. He just jumps up and like tucks his shirt over his junk and then like scurries across to the kitchen.
I remember
And
that.
we're just sitting here like, why wouldn't you just say, hey, give me a minute? Their poor kids are like less than
yeah.
3 years old. It's
Yeah.
me and them. And we get in there and he's so embarrassed. It was hilarious. I was like trying not to laugh.
Remember we had that one lady that laid down in the driveway. Remember that?
I don't remember that.
And what's it? We had somebody lay in the driveway.
The ex-wife?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
It was
God,
a
I
divorce
remember that.
situation.
Yeah. But yeah, there's
I wish you took
crazy,
me to all that stuff.
crazy stuff happens. But I just remember watching him scurry across. And then we got there and he had like 18 empty beer bottles. It was obvious it was like his last night in the house and he partied. I don't know if he had the door cracked because he was like waiting on company or what. But just
didn't want to have to
watching
get
him,
up and unlock the door.
just watching him like tuck his junk and scurry across to the kitchen.
So what was the conversation though after like you guys interacted with him?
He was just embarrassedly left. He didn't really say much. And,
I feel bad for the guy.
He
I
sold
do
his house
too.
that day. We closed. Everything was fine. And then the second part of that story
your
is
phone
where...
is not on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, let's... anyway, so we get in the driveway and we're laughing about it. And they had a pretty small infant baby. And they're like, oh, let's go ahead and change the baby's diaper before we go. And we're all already like laughing. And so they're changing their daughter's diaper in the driveway. And all of a sudden it's just like Hershey factory out of the back of their car straight into the driveway. Just
my
like total splats. And I did not have a baby at the time, so it threw me for a loop. But yeah, we could go down this rabbit hole for a long time too. Let's switch up gears a little bit. This is still relative to the industry. Let's talk about AI, artificial intelligence. This was a question. It was brought to us through social media to discuss. Are you guys using any AI in your business? If so, how?
Can I tell you something funny?
Yeah.
So literally, Amy, this was one of the conspiracies for Amy for the longest time. She was like, I'm not going to give them any sort of information about me because they're going to put it out in the universe, right? And now she loves it.
Yeah. So there's this, I was scared of it, and I still don't know that it's like the best thing for us. I do think eventually it's going to lead to some really bad things happening, but I do think we use it. Like if we're not using it, we're kind of behind the curve. So like,
I would agree with that.
and we use it like not even realizing that we're using it. Like in a lot of our platforms, it's already there. Like we have it, reaching out to people for us. I absolutely love the Gmail chat GPT because I'm terrible with sending emails and stuff. So I love that. And
Yeah, but I will say on this, I kind of miss your old school emails.
Run-on
it would just be
sentences
like,
and,
you had no grammatical breaks in it. You were just thinking out loud like this, and it was like, I'm thinking about this, and I'm
Yeah,
typing this email.
I went
And it
to
would be
Eastern
just
Guilford.
like one, it would be this one block of just nonsense. And I would be like, what is she trying to tell me right now?
Yeah.
Anyway, I miss those days.
It helps the people with ADHD for sure.
yeah.
So I feel like I never realized how broad AI was, and this might just be me, but I didn't hear about it like at a very large scale until there was like the writers strike and the actors strike, and they were literally fighting for like people, like I guess production companies or whatever, not having the rights to use AI generated images of themselves, and they weren't getting compensated for it. So it was almost like there would be no purpose, I guess, fully for actors and actresses if they could replicate them in an AI version, and they would have no rights to any sort of compensation for that. That to me is crazy.
Well, I think it's going to be like, it's going to get to that point, but it'll be across the board with all kinds of different jobs.
Yeah,
and
well, it's
stuff.
going to be like, you got to sign a contract to use my face type shit.
Like I think for us
Yeah.
now, like it's fun at like an innocent level, but when you think about it like broadly,
Like long
it's kind of
term
scary.
and where we're at now and where it could go is kind of scary.
Yeah, I mean, there's already, I'm sure there's a couple, but there's one in mind. I'm not going to call them out. A tech platform that is using AI, not just for text bot conversations or emails, but their AI is cloning their voice and making their
Yes.
phone calls on their
Yes.
behalf.
Do you ever get like spam calls
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you say hello? And I don't know about you guys, but I always say, hey, this is Ashleigh.
Me too.
And then you hear nothing. And it makes you so hesitant to
Yeah.
even answer the phone. So I've like actually gotten to the point where if I have an unrecognized number that calls me, I'll text them and I'll say, hey, I'm in an appointment. If you can, just text me and I'll give you a call right back. And then if they don't text back or it's an invalid number, then we're not having a conversation. Because it makes me so paranoid. Because I'm like, hey, this is Ashleigh. And yes, I've heard the same thing. They can like replicate your voice. And
They do. And Verizon actually has an app where you can
Conspiracy.
block them from calling you. But I did that and I lost business doing that.
Yeah, I
And-
mean, that's a great point because for us, like being in sales and any other professions, y'all out there watching, you understand the value of your phone and you have to be available within reason and you have to answer the phone.
Yeah.
And we get bombarded with such
Yeah.
shit. And for the consumer, I mean, how many people have randomly called you? Can I buy your house?
Yeah.
Let me give you an offer on your house.
So it's text.
Like we've started investing ourselves, and we're like legit people that are not trying to take away from people, but give them alternative solutions because
Yeah.
people need them sometimes based on their situation. And the problem is when we get in there, they already don't want to talk to us because 80,000 other people have
already
well,
bombarded
you know,
them, yeah.
and don't even, and look, I'm probably going to stir some things with this if you get to this point and hear it. Subject to, don't even get me started. Everybody's like, buy stuff subject to, subject to, subject to.
Yeah.
I get it. You can take over somebody's mortgage and this and this and that and that. But I'm sorry, if you can take over that mortgage and give them some cash and you're a licensed real estate agent, I know you're giving options. I'm not trying to diss anybody's business plan, but hear me, that consumer, you could have just sold their house and got them in a better situation because their better situation is now going in your pocket.
Yeah, I
I've bought
remember
investment properties. I've done it. I've had those conversations with people. But if you're not giving them the true options there, like, hey, we can do this, but you can also do this, then that's the problem with that. And it makes it hard for legit investors to get out there because the legit investor wants to take care of everybody in the party. They're looking for that true win-win.
But do you remember that situation last year? It was near mine. We had the seller. He had a vision, and thankfully he was one who he'll look at every situation, you know, and what's best for me, I'm going with. And we had that situation and we almost made that decision, but he knew what was better for him and where he wanted to be. And like now he's on tons of acreage
Yeah. There's a right
in
and
a
wrong way
different
to do it.
state,
Ashley, we did it with
living
a
where
client.
his vision was, you know.
Your client up in the Reedsville area. You know, we charged a higher commission. We did some work to the house. We had a little bit more to gain from it, but they were ready to let their house go into foreclosure.
All I can think about right now is I can't trust people that buy extra pulp, like orange juice.
Oh, by the
Ah,
way,
this is
random
so
question.
criminal.
Random
I
question.
love pulp.
Pulp or no pulp? I'm going to go ahead and answer it.
I mean,
Pulp.
high pulp.
Let's
I
move
know
on.
me too. It looks like a
love
slushie.
pulp. Everybody
Exactly, it
else
should
says
be.
no pulp,
I
but
don't
I
like
love
pulp.
it.
I mean, I'll
Pulp.
drink it, but
I think that's what
it's
makes it orange juice.
Okay, all right. I'm going to interject here. We're going to
Sorry.
bring it back to the original question, AI, and I'm going to go back to why it was asked on my social media. Amy, the question was posed. Is your current profile picture on Facebook
Don't do
AI
that to
generated or is it you?
Who asked that?
It's
I'm not going to
It's her.
say
So,
his
all right.
name, but he is a good friend of mine.
Are the initials SS?
tell him.
No,
So
they do
so-
not live in the Greensboro area.
So anyway, so I took the picture that one is AI generated. I took,
All right, so it is AI generated. Okay.
I took the picture that Todd did.
Oh, now we're wrapping Todd into this.
It originally was Todd's picture.
She was using her creativity.
And-
Episode 2, shout out Todd Turner.
Yeah, so it was that picture which already I felt like looked like AI, but it wasn't. You know, the country singer picture.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So it,
It
went.
did,
Yeah.
actually.
So it's off of that picture. So it's not like. I mean, it is AI, but
Ooh, just be
it does
real.
make me look
Tell
a little
him.
bit skinnier.
But how
but
did it make you
overall-
feel, and what has it done for you since you posted it?
I will say though that for her profile picture, I think it looks very, very similar to her. I
Oh,
would
no,
say.
it's definitely her.
Oh hell yeah, the
You
boobs.
want to know what killed me the most? Is she started, y'all remember this because she's hitting our group thread. She started putting my pictures into the same program. And there was one where I had like a chiseled jawline.
Yeah, you
I
did.
actually had an Adam's apple.
You were
had
sitting
long
crisscross
hair.
applesauce on the sidewalk.
That's a different one. But,
And
and
then there
I'm
was one
laughing
that
at
lo-
it. And then she posts something on Facebook. And that's the picture she used of me. I'm like, yours is believable. Everybody knows I don't have an Adam's apple or a
I
jawline.
love it though because I see you. I literally picture you in the moment making this, and you're like, "Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Like this is what we're doing." Yes.
So I'm gonna be very vulnerable right now. So this is like when this like trend first came about like months ago, and this is like, Amy, do not run my picture, do not post my picture. So Remy, I don't know if you guys remember it or not. That was like one of the first platforms that like at a large we were introduced to for AI pictures. I was like, oh, let me just do it for fun. Fun fact, I rarely take selfies or pictures of myself. And so like I had a very limited pool, but still like uploaded them. And I swear to you, they threw out pictures that looked identical to my dad. And when I say my dad, they gave me a beard. Like 3/4 of the pictures. I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm not doing anything else with AI. So when Amy said she was doing that, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going to spit pictures of me with a beard.
I know.
Your pictures turned out good.
I'm ready for it. If she
I guess
texts
they think I
me
have like me
and says she's doing something, I can't talk her out of it because you already know she's going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, okay, let's wait to see what this looks like. And then either it's both.
And
Because
the one
laugh,
I did of you,
laugh.
the one I did of you, Andrew, was
I
your
love
picture.
it.
I just changed your shirt. That was it. I wanted you to be in pink because I was in pink and I was doing like the Valentine theme. And so,
I'm in pink
but you
right
had
now.
a black shirt on, so I made it pink. That was it.
You
Your
getting
face
on
and all was right.
Facebook and seeing yourself AI
Look,
on
I
Amy's
ain't seen that jawline
Facebook,
since
and
I was
then,
10 years
like,
old.
It might have did
So
a little
funny.
bit, but it
You
wasn't a
saw it
lot.
today.
Overall, it looked like you.
You gonna learn. Yeah, it's and it's so funny to me because you guys have been in this room the last couple of years where like I am big on technology and I am big on social media and how that helps us brand ourselves as a firm and who we are and get out to the public more. And bless my partner's heart, Amy, she's just fought it for so long. And all of a sudden, we went to a training that was AI based, and it was pretty cool, and we learned some cool stuff. And then, like the next day, oh, and she's just like a kid in a candy store, and I was like, oh my god, what have we done?
I sent
Andrew
an email about how he was a great business partner. I used the Chat GPT
But, like,
thing, and it was like this whole like long email.
I swear it's because you've always done things the harder way that have exhausted you on the back end. And now there's something that like helped you be able to touch everyone at one time and still be able to be.
So I think to answer your question, her picture is 75% her, 25% AI.
And mind your business. Mind your damn business.
Yeah, I mean, I use AI for every listing description I have. So like,
But isn't AI and ChatGPT, isn't that two different things?
I mean, they kind of work
guess
hand in hand.
I guess
Well,
like AI
it is
like the big
part of
umbrella.
AI.
Like,
yeah.
like I'm going to read you the sentence on a listing we have right here. Charming 1928 home in Latham Park, exuding timeless elegance. When have y'all ever heard me talk? That's all AI. I just plug some stuff in
I
and
don't
it
know. I
spit
could
that out.
hear you say that. Actually.
Timeless, elegant. Anyway.
I mean, I could hear you because sometimes you really surprise me with your way of words whenever you are giving someone else advice.
He might be putting it into his ChatGPT tech or app on his
No.
phone.
No, he don't. It's like in person. Like you can see the difference because he has to sit down and like think about it for a second.
Yeah, but he
then
don't
when
use
he
words
comes
like,
back.
What was
Yeah.
it?
Exude.
Exude.
I can't spell
I don't
it.
even know what
I'm
that
not
means.
spelling
Well,
it.
I feel like you and Logan are a lot of like you guys take the time to think about how you're going to react.
Logan's her husband.
But if you don't think about it, like you always come back to it and you make sure to reach out to that specific person and be like, this is what I meant by that. You know what I mean?
I would agree.
I mean,
All right,
your wife would agree.
Last internet question. We're going to keep things moving here. Last internet question. Somebody wanted us to kind of talk about cryptocurrency. I don't know much about it.
I don't
Is that
either.
Logan?
No, it was not your husband.
Oh.
I'm so embarrassed to say I know nothing.
I know
about
nothing. I leave
cryptocurrency.
all the technology to my husband.
I don't.
I don't care about
Isn't
it.
that kind of scary? There's a whole portion of the world out there that we're not knowledgeable on.
I had $84 in cryptocurrency 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, let's hear the story
And
about how
now
you could have been a millionaire.
I have $318, and that's because of Oh, Shiba. I have 8.5 million shares of Shiba.
So can you explain to us like what
Talk
it is?
to
how it
Yeah,
works?
so crypto has a special place in my heart for one of the craziest stories of my life. And Amy, you were in my life at this point. I'm not going to say any names. I had a gentleman living with me, and I will say my friend that was with me at this time, my buddy Rafi, episode 1, was sitting in the den with me, the first house I had on Benjamin Parkway in Greensboro, and gentleman was living with me. And he just all of a sudden out of nowhere started going on and on and on. He was an engineer. I'm crypto, Bitcoin. There was only Bitcoin then. And he's like, it's less than $1. I'm telling you, it's the future. If you do anything, buy $500 worth of crypto right now. And when he left, me and Rafi were like, what the hell is this dude talking about?
So can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
Is there a difference between crypto and Bitcoin, or is Bitcoin a type of cryptocurrency?
That's what
I would say the latter, but I am by no means, I have no idea about crypto.
Okay,
Bitcoin is a form of cryptocurrency, and there's a ton of it.
Okay.
I just think it was the original.
That's living.
And I could be wrong. For those of you that don't know, Bitcoin is now worth about $62,000 or $63,000 a Bitcoin. So you do the math, $500 when it was less than $1, and this has been about 14, 15 years ago. I'd have about $30 million right now if I would have listened to this guy. Now, he was in a bad place in his life, and we all get there. I don't want to talk negative about him. He was a great roommate. He went through some stuff, ended up doing some things to my house. Crazy. There was like 8 cop cars in my driveway at one point. And, it was just like, I just imagine him now in such a better place in life, just sitting on a private island somewhere, because 14, 15 years ago when he was telling me I should invest $500 in crypto, he did. And like, think about that opportunity. And it's like, man, why didn't I just listen to this guy and buy $500 worth of Bitcoin?
So he did?
I have to imagine he did.
You don't know?
I don't know. I don't
I
know.
bet
that guy.
you don't know where
and
he is
y'all
right
thought
haven't
he
seen
was
him since
crazy.
then.
We
Hell
need to
yeah,
call
he's
him
living
right
in
now.
Bermuda.
I'm not-
He
no,
doesn't care
no,
about you. Don't call him.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
I'm just saying, you didn't listen.
I'm biting at the
He
bit
knew what
today.
was going on.
I bet he's on a private island somewhere.
I mean, probably. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Amy can. I'm not going to explain the story, but it was like insane. What
Yeah,
happened.
it was kind of a mental break.
Yeah.
Good for him.
But yeah, I do. I imagine he's just like living on his own private island somewhere. And
I hope
should've
so.
I should have just
was-
listened to him.
That was a long time ago before
Yeah,
I
that
felt
was a
like
very
we
long-
started hearing about.
Yeah.
or
I
me
mean,
at least,
I wasn't in
Bitcoin.
real estate yet, so it's been at least 10
Yeah.
years. I mean, I
Well,
think
you
this is
you
like-
had gotten into
Or I had
this.
just started, so this is like 10, 11
because
years
I
ago.
remember it happening.
yeah, and maybe it was like at $5 a coin, but it was like sub $10.
Yeah.
And he was like, just $500, man. I was like, damn, I should have listened. Because when he left me and Raph, you were like, what the? We're not doing that. And then we joked about it, like, what if it does come true? Well, here we are, 10 years, all the conspiracy stuff we were talking about 10 years later.
Wow.
Damn Bitcoin. All right, so let's thank you to those people who
That's
gave us
even
some
more
ideas.
because I didn't know it was 10 years ago.
Probably longer than that.
I wonder what's the rate now?
It's at like 63,000 a coin. I don't know. I can pull it up.
What?
Yeah, Bitcoin. Thomas, do you have it in front? 67,704 is what it's currently at. So just short of $68,000 a
Oh
coin.
my word.
Yeah, crazy, right?
Yeah.
And I have 8.5 million shares of that Shiba, and it's at like 0.000
Of Shiba?
Shiba.
What's that?
It's some cryptocurrency.
Oh.
My $84 turned to $380 in like 2 days.
I think you could do a whole podcast on this.
I could. I just don't know anything about it.
You should bring Logan
should
in
find
for
someone.
that
We'll
one.
bring
For real.
we'll do a crypto podcast. We need somebody local. Anyway, all right. So this is a Greensboro based podcast. So let's start talking about the town we live in a little bit, and just some random question. Ashley, we'll start with you because I think I know the answer. Guilty pleasures in the city of Greensboro.
I know
What
the
is
answer.
your guilty pleasure?
Sounds really bad.
Okay, remove
Like,
the.
where do you like to go if you're in Greensboro?
Yeah,
Where do you
like, what do you-
and
Oh
you
my
don't
God.
know.
What's your favorite place?
If you got 30 minutes time, no, you got
Where
3
you like to go,
hours time to
Bonchon?
kill. Where are you going?
Oh, you're looking at Bonchon.
It's Bonchon.
Yeah, it's not my guilty pleasure. I'll gladly go there.
Yeah.
It's hard.
But
I mean,
it's like
harder now.
yummy.
Well, if that's not your guilty
food,
pleasure, what
makes
is your
you want to
guilty
take a
pleasure?
Are you
nap?
talking about like my favorite place to eat?
Yeah, it's just like, oh my god, I gotta go do this. Like some people's guilty pleasure is their health nuts, but like they gotta have their M&Ms at night. Like what's your guilty pleasure in Greensboro?
I mean, I would say if there was a winery in Greensboro, I'd pick that, but there's really not.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
No. I don't know. I don't really have like a guilty pleasure.
If you have a wine bar with your own wines or any kind of wine in the Greensboro area where we can go taste it, let us know. We want to know. I do.
I will say, though, I would
wanna
love
know.
to shout out one of my most favorite local restaurants in Oak Ridge, Joey's Burger Bar. That currently has hit our, like, we've gone there 7 times now. They've been open for like 7 weeks. So once a week, we go there. That's kind of our guilty pleasure, I would say.
Ooh, what about
Okay.
that one in
I'm going to introduce
Eden?
Devin to hopefully go out to eat there tonight because I didn't lay anything out for dinner. But
All right.
yeah.
And where was that in Oak Ridge? Because that's pretty much, let's go Greensboro. It's all the same area.
Yeah, it's in the same shopping center as Lowe's Foods.
Okay. And what's the name of it again?
Joey's Burger Bar.
Joey's Burger
It
Bar.
is amazing.
7 weeks open. You've been there 7 times.
Pretty much.
If your husband would have gone with you more, would you have gone 14 times?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Devin. Burger Bar,
That's
bro.
probably where we're eating dinner tonight. I'll send
Love
you a
it.
picture of what we're eating.
Amy, what about
Send
you?
me the menu. We love new places.
I mean, I don't really have. I do like Green Valley. I like that restaurant.
Green Valley Grill.
Yeah,
I
Green
didn't know
Valley
if you were
Grill.
talking about the pool, the neighborhood.
No,
the
Green
restaurant.
Valley Grill.
if you had anywhere in Greensboro, that's where you would go.
I mean,
GV Jeeves. They
This
have a
is-
great chocolate martini. It's
Is
fantastic.
this a food?
are we talking about food? I like
It
what?
could be anything.
Yeah.
Where do you spend your money in Greensboro when you have nothing
I feel like it's
to
always
do?
that friendly shopping center.
Hell yeah, me too.
That's it. All right. We'll move on from the guilty pleasures. Next question was going to be.
I'm ready for this one.
We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. You talked about Friendly Center.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going shopping, are you going to Friendly Center or are you going to Tanger Outlet Mall?
Friendly.
Aldi.
No, friendly.
Aldi
Because
has been
Tanger,
my-
I feel like the outlets are. Don't go there. No. Mm-mm.
No,
I mean,
Friendly.
I go to friendly.
Sales are better.
I just-
Sales are so much better.
Yeah, was closer to you.
Yeah. When sales
Or
are
is it an
better.
alternative? Or are you not going to either one of them?
It depends
No,
on what
I'm
store
going to
you want to
Friendly.
go
I
to,
don't know.
honestly.
I will give to Tanger, not Tanger, but Friendly. Friendly Center has brought a lot of places that you had to go to Four Seasons to be able to, like American Eagle and
Yeah.
stuff like that. They've brought to Friendly Center.
And they're getting ready to open
Lush.
They're getting ready to open it.
They just got Carhartt.
They're
store.
opening a Lush and Friendly Center. Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Y'all know I've preached on them for 5 years.
Yeah.
Quick question. I want to be excited about Lush. I don't know what it is. What is Lush?
It's like they make
It's
like
an organic
Yeah.
lotion.
essential
like,
oil type thing. But
It's
they
like
make
body
like
stuff.
yeah, they make like body wash. They make like face
face masks.
mask, hair mask, soaps, bath
And it,
bombs.
like
I mean,
hygiene.
yeah, it's just and it
Hygiene
smells
for the
so
body.
good.
It's not that it smells good. It's the like.
I think it smells
When
good.
we had no other options for eczema, we bought one of their lotions, and it like literally changed the life of one of my children. You know,
Wow.
because it was.
It's like expensive,
called?
but it
Yeah, I mean,
lasts
it is, but
forever.
yeah,
But you only
exactly.
use a little bit of it. Yeah.
I can't remember what it was called. It's Didn't I put you on it? You bought some at Christmas. We both spent like so much money there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I got what you had said.
Yeah, you did.
Maybe. I don't know.
All right.
I feel
It was
like
a lotion.
I feel like I did find my guilty pleasure though, and I feel like I need to explain myself.
All right. Wrapping up a little bit. We're going to do one more question, Greensboro based. Unpopular opinions about things in Greensboro. For example, some people may love something. You may absolutely hate it. So let's hear about that. Amy.
Come back to me.
Come back. Okay.
I don't really. There's not.
Ashleigh?
So what is it? I'm not 100% educated on this, but what is it what Greensboro did like downtown? You can like walk around with alcohol within certain points.
Yeah, they
I
like
love it. I
They
don't
like
hate it. I
basically
love it.
made that you can like run
Yeah.
the streets a little bit with alcohol, I think.
Yeah, I
don't know
like
the
that.
exact rule.
I think their thought process is a little bit of nightlife, and obviously it's safety because you can only go within certain parameters. I like that.
So you feel like the unpopular opinion is more people don't like that idea?
I would think that there's opinions out there that don't like it. Absolutely.
It's probably the ones that
They're
don't
probably
do
just
it.
worried about safety.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I get that.
I like it.
Yeah, okay.
I thought of one.
Go
I
ahead.
mean, this is just kind of in general everywhere, and I'm probably going to make people mad by saying this, but I really just hate when I'm driving down the road and I get behind like 10 bicycles and they're just like all like out in the middle of the road, and you got to just, and they know we're there. They look back at you when they see you. And they just keep on, and like you have nowhere to go, and you just have to keep. And then you'll finally get a chance to get around them, and
That's
you'll
like
go
in
a
the
little bit
country,
further,
though.
and then there's another group.
Yeah.
That's like country though, but usually that's when an event's going on.
I think you have a good point, because I think with that, I think there could be a lot more bicycle lanes throughout.
Yes,
Guilford
Yeah.
County.
Like
in
I'm
general.
all for biking
For sure.
Yeah, I just don't do it
I
when
think there could
on
be a lot more
roads.
dedication. To
Yeah, I
it.
mean, you
Like-
just buy a Peloton like the rest of the world did during COVID, right?
I
And
know.
now they
You
just
still
sit as
owe
a
me
co-
yours for 100. Don't forget
I
that you
use
said
It's
my
that.
in my
Peloton.
basement.
I use
Come
my
get it.
Peloton
Well,
every
I've been
day.
I know
telling
you do.
Logan.
I know
I've
you
been
do.
telling Logan.
I have to agree
but-
with you though, because I'm not even scared for them. I'm scared for myself.
It is very dangerous though
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
And for anybody, like really. It is
So your
dangerous.
unpopular opinion is
There should not be bikes
street
on there.
bikes should not be allowed on the roads.
Agreed.
Correct.
I
There
agree.
needs to be bike trails, or they need to do it elsewhere.
Or bike lane.
Well, same thing.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
bike lane.
So we
yeah.
need better bike lanes in Greensboro. That's what you're talking about. Okay.
Because it really is a lifestyle for people.
I feel
And
that.
I think it's great. I mean, they're
Yeah,
healthy people,
absolutely.
and like it's fantastic that
Or
they
really
do it.
throughout
I just-
Guilford County, because I think Greensboro itself, I think they have quite a bit amount of
Well, yeah, I'm
bicycle
just
lanes.
saying
But when you get to
generally
like Brown
speaking, that's-
Summit and
Yeah.
different areas like that,
Any
they
kind of
don't.
town.
It's the
Any kind
worst.
of
I
town.
love living in the country, but at the same time, it's like bikes and then tractors, and then I feel like trains.
bus.
Like I feel like it takes extra time to get somewhere because you're gonna end up something's gonna be in front of you that's gonna slow you down.
Yeah. All right, y'all. So we have discussed this, and this is going to be part 1 of this episode. Part 2 will be shot at a later date, and we will come back and keep debating these
I didn't even tell you my
fun
guilty
topics.
pleasures.
I know. We didn't get to Dusty's guilty pleasures.
Part
We
2.
will start that in part 2. You will hear all about unfiltered Dusty's guilty pleasures. But we are out of time today.
Slightly filtered.
And so, well, yeah, slightly filtered, hopefully. But if not, you be you, boo. You do your thing. We're going to digress here and go about our Friday. And thank you guys for watching. Again, this is part 1. Part 2, All About You Real Estate. We got Dusty, Ashley, Amy, myself, Andrew. Peace.
Love you.
Thank you.